clergymen have to know or learn about their Christian faith, to know about their history of their ancestors, and to carry the torch of the gospel to the people. So that's the reason Nersess was established. In other words, Nersess Armenian Seminary offers a golden opportunity to our young people. Golden opportunity.
For years, our clergymen in this country studied in non-Armenian seminaries. Our Armenian community had grown considerably, and I think the time as well as the community were ripe and right to start an Armenian seminary where our students will be studying according to the teachings of the Armenian Church.
The year was 1947. Bishop Tiran Nersoyan had been primate for only 2 years, but he had already diagnosed a growing problem for the Armenian Church of America. Our immediate concern is the shortage of clergy, he told church leaders at the diocesan assembly that year. It was no understatement. The 19 clergymen in the Armenian diocese could hardly accommodate the jurisdiction's 30-some parish communities. Bishop Nersoyan would prevail upon priests and students he had met in his travels to come and serve in America, but this was at best a temporary measure. Nersoyan suggested a more permanent solution during that 1947 gathering.
We need young clergy who have received a good Armenian religious as well as American education. The real remedy for this condition is to have our own seminary in America.
At the time, this was only a small seed that Nersoyan was planting. For a decade and more, other urgent matters would take priority. But Bishop Nersoyan was raising the sights of his people, from life as an immigrant community to life as permanent residents of the New World. An Armenian seminary would be instrumental in perpetuating that life in America.
A priest who is raised and who studies and is trained for priesthood among the people that he will one day be serving has a great advantage in his ability to do the church's work. In other words, to preach the gospel, to make the Bible meaningful in the lives of the people, to understand the challenges that they face in their daily lives given their culture.
Today our children are being exposed to many different people and many different faiths, and they're asking questions. And the seminary is that spiritual center here in America that can respond to that.
These were the considerations that animated Archbishop Tiran Nersoyan's concerns and excited his visionary imagination that had done so much to prepare the ground for the growth of the Armenian Church in America.
Tiran Nersoyan is a unique person. It's hard to describe him because different personalities man had. Different personality, full of energy, full of knowledge about everything.
He was always a forward-looking person. He was ahead of his time. To this day, people speak about him as the great teacher, as the great model, a man to follow.
At last, in the autumn of 1962, an Armenian Church theological school began operating in Evanston, Illinois. It was named for a forward-looking churchman of the Middle Ages, St. Nersess Shonorhali, the Graceful.
His concern for the unity of the Church arose from his pastoral concerns. St. Nersess maintained that we should first have love, peace, tolerance, understanding, coming closer together, and then agreement on the points of dogma would be much easier.
Sirpazan felt that by calling the seminary St. Nersess, we are reviving not only the memory but also the ideal and the direction of the great saint of the 11th century.
Under a succession of deans and a profusion of students, St. Nersess Seminary became a fixture of community life throughout the ensuing decades, serving the Armenian Church jurisdictions of the eastern and western United States and Canada. Early on, it would move from its first location in Illinois to a new home in New Rochelle, New York. It would experience several periods of flowering and also times of uncertainty. Having relinquished his formal responsibilities as dean, Archbishop Nersoyan remained active at the seminary, becoming its guiding spirit. In the early 1970s, St. Nersess would see one of its graduates ordained as a priest, Father Kevork Arakelian, the first of some 40 clergymen who would pass through the seminary's program and into the service of the broader church. The single constant throughout its fluctuations was the seminary's ability to inspire the hearts of new generations of Armenian Americans.
My involvement with St. Nersess Seminary began when I was 15 years old. I attended my first summer conference. I had the opportunity to meet Archbishop Tiran Nersoyan, Archbishop Torko Manukyan, and others, and left that experience quite inspired and had a little flame lit inside me, wondering whether I could one day reach their level.
My first experience with St. Nersess Seminary was as a 14-year-old attendee of the high school summer sessions. That time in your life, you're questioning things your parents have told you. You're questioning things you took for granted. And St. Nersess helped reinforce for me the reality of being a Christian. So for me and my family today, that experience I had as a younger person has proven to be quite valuable.
Now my eldest daughter has attended the summer conferences 2 years in a row. I can tell you that her experience was as profound as mine was going. She loved it, she loved the people. She felt closer to God because it's such a deeper relationship than other experiences.
As a new century dawned, it became clear that St. Nersess needed a new direction, a new inspiration. This latest chapter of the St. Nersess story became possible thanks to the generosity of Haig and Elza Didizian. Their bold vision for a major educational institution in America was born as the fulfillment of a promise.
Հարցուցինք իրեն մահանալեն գնամասել 6, 7, 8, 9 ամիս առաջ, թե ինչ է պապակը։ Եվ արդեն ցավով գուսեմ լեզուն առնված էր կորձողության պատճառով։ Ինքը գրեց Կարայքին առաջին Armenological Theological Center գուզեմ։ Իրեն էսի վեհապար հայր խոստումնիտ պիտի հարկեմ։ Ատիկա Center պիտի շինեմ։
The Didizians created a splendid theological center in his honor in Armenia. And here in America, the His Holiness Karakin I Center will be the focal point of an ambitious new seminary campus in Armonk, New York.
The Didizian family's philanthropy, and they truly have joined the ranks of some of the great Armenian philanthropists, has been inspired via their friendship and the fulfillment of a promise to His Holiness Karakin I of blessed memory. And what they're doing here in St. Nersess is very much driven by that commitment and promise that they made. But it's also driven by their own vision, one that's very much based upon their belief in education and the long-term impact that education will have. This is also exemplified by the Didizian Publication Fund. There are generations to come that will be impacted by their generosity and their vision.
With a new campus comes a new enthusiasm and a renewed commitment to the vision that originally inspired the seminary.
The seminary is a barometer of the spiritual life of the community.
As the primate of the diocese and the president of the board of St. Nersess, I have been committed to that dream. And also, I am very happy that the board members diocesan council members, the faculty, the dean of the seminary, they have been in partnership to make sure that that dream of Tiran Sirpazan is being realized today and tomorrow.
St. Nersess deepens in the hearts of our students the love for Christ Church. We need to make sure that St. Nersess reaches out to all communities. St. Nersess certainly is the future of our church in North America.
St. Nersess has a unique mission, which is to train its seminarians not only in the theology of the Armenian Orthodox Church and its traditions, but also how to face the challenges that a Western society brings to faithful.
When the church is growing and it's vibrant and it's touching the lives of the people, then the church will breed, as it were, students and teachers. We need a seminary in order to foster that process.
St. Nersess changed me tremendously. It helped me grow as a person, as a daughter, as a Christian. It gave me skills to articulate my faith, to live my faith, and to help others learn about their faith.
A great part of being a seminarian is also being able to share that experience with other seminarians. Coming into this new facility has been very exciting. I think all of the students, when we first moved in from the New Rochelle campus to the Armand campus, began to realize very quickly all of the potential that this property has to offer.
Tiran Sirpazan, and those that knew Tiran Sirpazan well, knew that he was a very practical person. Foresighted, he was a visionary. I think if he had known about this new endeavor of the Armand campus, he would have been very excited and very pleased with the prospect of a new and brighter and better future for St. Nersess Seminary.
If he were to visit this new site, and he is of course with us in spirit, he would see the classrooms, he would see the Armenian-style chapel, he would see a two-level library, he would see facilities for married students, single students, for exercise, for dining. Archbishop Tiran, I am certain, knowing the man, would say that this is the right move.
It's a testament to the community at large that we have kept it open for all these years successfully, and now with this wonderful new campus we'll continue. So if you love your community, if you love your church, if you love where you are in the United States as an Armenian, then it behooves you to continue to support St. Nersess in the future.
I ran across a photo the other day from 1985, I believe, a gathering of the summer conference students. And as I looked upon the faces of the individuals gathered at that conference, I realized that each and every one of them is in some position of leadership today in the Armenian Church. But who knew that that was going to happen at that time? Who could imagine that one day that gathering of young people would become the leaders of the Armenian Church in America? This is an example of how St. Nersess has worked. The invisible power that the seminary has had on the Armenian community in America.
Աստծո օրհնությունը կարևոր է մեզի համար։ Եվ ես կհավատամ, որ Աստծո օրհնությամբ եւ առաջնորդությամբ Սուրբ Ներսեսը այս նոր վայրին մեջ արմոնք պիտի շարունակե իր առաքելությունը մեր ժողովրդին եւ մեր եկեղեցին։